Hello, I am Dr. Thompson Akwo Ntuba, international political leader, physician, and communicator. Updates on AFCON Africa. Updates on AFCON Africa. There are many of you who have been hearing about the African football jamboree that is taking place from the 9th of January 2022, which is actually AFCON 2021. In the nation of Samuel Etofis, a lot of people, when they hear that, hey, Dr. Thompson is from Cameroon, they immediately say, oh, hi, Samuel Etofis. And then others ask about Roger Millers. Nobody asks about me, even though they know that I played soccer in secondary school. I qualified my school team, scoring the 2 needed goals, beating Ntuba 2-0 after they had beaten us 1-0 in Ntuba to qualify my school for the provincial Usuks in my city of Kumba, because I was like, no, it's not going to happen that my school is not going to be there. So after I played and qualified, because a lot of people call me the goal getter, I don't know what I used to do with my hands, but I could score goals in handball like just anything. It was so easy. So I'd already qualified my team, that's Nyasoso. I'd already qualified my team for the handball, for the provincial jamboree, because in Meme, in Kumba, because I always wanted my people in Kumba to see me play. Lots of my sisters came, the younger people who heard that, hey, Thompson, their team was coming, and so we were at GTTC, and when our bosses came down and everybody was looking for me, and they were so proud and happy to see that I was part of the thing. The same with soccer, with football. And I did play also in Sacred Heart High School. They call it First 11. We used to wear the Denmark colors? I don't know, but our marriage brothers did us proud. The brothers, very beautiful jerseys and boots and things like that from Europe. And it was very exciting when we came out of our cars, in the big stadium in Bamenda. I remember, oh my, that was something, because we were, these special boys in Sacred Heart School. I love that. Soccer and its glory always reminds me of my days of glory. I remember scoring the 2 goals for Nyasoso, and there were these ladies who had come to repeat in my class 5. I won't forget. They were my enemies, because I did really, enemies in quote, I didn't really like people coming from outside and trying to make us if they were special. And so as a school prefect, I was always into things. I remember, that brought me problems. But I said that to say this, that when I scored the 2 goals and qualified my team, and it's the women who carried me right up into the skies and walked me through the school singing my praises, I would never forget the glory of that. Those were my glorious days, my days of school. Athleticism, sports brought me a lot of joy and satisfaction. It began to make me to know that if you work hard in life and you succeed, people would cherish you. It had nothing to do with if your father was dead, who your mother was sick. You could begin to realize that your names are written in national journals, and the same with academics. I remember reading the school speech for my graduation class, and immediately I knew that my names were going to be written in the Cameroon Tribune, and the governor Ntuba was going to read it. And I remember my Mbene Esther Ntuba calling me, telling me when they came to Kumba that, oh man, we read about you and the graduation speech, and my friends in Seka were like, your brother. I said that to say this. Cameroonians are a very proud people in their green, in their red, and in their yellow national colors. Like other nations, like the United States, they have their own issues. You know that the United States went into a civil war. If Abraham Lincoln wasn't there, the nation would have fallen apart, maybe into other smaller countries. Yeah, there are smaller countries in Europe that are great. So it doesn't mean that if there was a country out of the south of America, it would not have been a great country. Texas on its own, the economy of Texas and what it produces is bigger than most countries in the world, even though Texas is not a country today, but it used to be a country, and that is why Sam Houston is said to have been known as the president of the Republic of Texas and also the governor. Well, like America, sports means a lot to Cameroonians, and sports is very important. So there's preparations that are ongoing in the nation of Cameroon, particularly in 4-5 major cities in Yaoundé and Douala and Limbe in the southwest region and Bafoussam and the far north. I would have wished that there was another taking place in Bamenda, but subsequently that will be taken care of because Bamenda has an international airport, and I think with a development fight, we should be able to have an internet. There was an airport in Tico, but the vicinity, Tico is as close to Douala now as any other place. Some of us drive about 1 hour, to go to certain airports in America. So when a city is close to a major airport in about like 40 minutes, 1 hour of drive, that major airport may be able to take care of the needs of that city if the other communication channels, road, buses are doing very well. So as long as I don't mind the people of Akwo in Limbe to have an airport in Tico and renovating the airport to be a local airport, I think that the time for the Southwest state or region, or as our Anglophone brothers would call it, the Southern Zone. It's time for the Southern Zone to have an airport in the Southern Zone, like they have an airport in the Northern Zone. So we are all working together. We are working with our brothers from the Northwest, with our brothers from, Boloa, Yaoundé, and Douala, the place or Littoral, Mungo, where my mother originates. I'm half Littoral, half Anglophone. So you always know why I'm very particular about these colors being together and maybe returning back to putting the 2 stars the way they were and bringing things back to the way they were. Some of those discussions are being done. The need for different regions and states to vote their governors and run their places. We know that the houses of chiefs are already working like it used to be before the British or the French and the Germans came. So that notwithstanding, we know that even the people of the Francophone region are clamoring to have their governors voted and elected by they themselves. So those are not things which are very limited to the Anglophones who speak English. They are things that humans want when they look at what is happening in other countries, like in Nigeria, like in America, and all the other places where people elect their leaders and not leaders who are appointed and forced on them. So those are not the things that keep me out of bed in the night. I have been working on issues related to the grievances in Cameroon for a long time. Before the recent crisis, we had authored the Stand on Anglophone problem. We made lots of proposals related to the independence of the judiciary and the legal profession, good governance, semi-autonomy of the region so that the people can elect their governor. Nobody brought anything new. Nobody is singing any new song. They may be having different instruments, but those things have been put there. The American government is very aware with the protection that the American government gives me as an international political leader. They are aware of those things I'm talking about. And I'm not one who keeps changing from one thing or the other, moving from one place to the other. I believe in the things that I've put down. That having been said, I want to address you Cameroonians and Africans about the coming AFCON. Now, we have been discussing some of the issues, whether you believe in the national colors of Cameroon or not. The AFCON is carrying the national colors of Cameroon, which are green, red, and yellow. So on me is the Cameroon flag. I'm not ashamed of Cameroon. Just like I'm not ashamed of my host nation of the United States. They are mayors, they are governors that I've spoken to directly and pointed my fingers at them in America and told them that, hey, what you're doing is wrong. And it could be better if we did it this way and that way. So I am saying and doing the same thing to Cameroon. If we walk, just like I tell people in the city of Houston, that I don't believe that the charter of the city is democratic, because the mayor of Houston is the chief executive officer, is also the chairman of the council of councillors. That doesn't happen in Cameroon. People will complain and say, how can the mayor be the chairman of the council? In Cameroon, there's a chairman of the councils, there's a mayor. Now, we are not going to be knocking the heads of people in America, in Houston, and saying that, oh, you must come copy what they do in Cameroon. Yours is not democratic. We just walk, and we've been making the point that there's time for the charter to be reviewed so that some of these things can be changed. The same thing in Cameroon. So AFCON, the coming of African football federations and teams to Cameroon is a good thing. And because of that, Cameroon has built some of the best stadia in the world. The Olembe Stadium, or what some people are wanting to call the Pobia Stadium or whatever. I'm not interested in all those nomenclature and names. But the Olembe Stadium in Cameroon is bigger, better. It beats the stadium in Houston. But here is Houston struggling, without some of the best infrastructure in the world to host some of the games of FIFA World Cup. Houston doesn't have a train station go to the airport, right? But that is not stopping them, from canvassing to host the FIFA World Cup games. I don't know whether by then they will be able to have those facilities or infrastructure in place, and they can do it, because in America, they just need to put it as a policy, and in 1 to 3 years, it will be executed as the people demand. I am asking our people, the world is coming to Cameroon. They are coming from Asia, from Europe, from the Americas. Different African teams are coming to Africa. They are estimating that about 1 million tourists will be visiting Cameroon. And Cameroon is actually Africa in miniature. If you want to actually study the world, Africa in totality, don't go to anywhere, just go to Cameroon and travel to the different states, and then you'll be able to see the differences, the culture, the makeup of the people of the Cameroons, because there are lots of people who say that Cameroonians originated from different African tribes and countries, and whether that is good or bad has nothing to do with it. But let me emphasize to Cameroonians, and let me also emphasize to those of you who enjoy throwing bombs and shooting people with guns and killing people like you did in Kumba recently, when you went and killed little school babies in school. You never get away from that. If you think that those acts will actually endear you in the hearts of foreigners, nobody is going to come and clap for you for killing those babies. It works against you. And don't come in and start saying that, oh, the government did it and that. No. You had actually said you were going to do things like that. But let me tell you something. On behalf of those children and their parents, we are forgiving you, but we are asking you to stop. We don't go about killing children. And I repeat, you don't go about killing children. You don't do that. Even the uncivilized in the world know you don't do that. And they know that if you do that, you bring a curse to yourselves. So, those who pride themselves in doing what they are doing, whether they are people working for the military or the government, as you say, I am not interested in people who have been in government for 60 years and 40 years as president. They want to be there for the next 100 years and they are ready to help you kill all of yourselves because they have the government's resources with them and they are going to use it. What I'm just saying is that be wise. Africa is coming to Africa's AFCON. You are the host. It is not yours. You begged. You canvassed. You requested Africa to give you the hosting rights. Africa has done so. You have proven to the world that you got the infrastructure, the hotels, the roads, and everything. Some may not be in place. That shouldn't stop the AFCON from going on. Because there's no airport in Limbe, or in Boya, or in Chico, or in Kumba, or in Tombel, or Bangem, or Lebialem, or Indian, Ekondo Titi, Manfe, doesn't mean that this shouldn't happen. There are people who are going to come in from Nigeria through Ekok, Manfe. Some of those roads have been rehabilitated. Stop burning down the roads. They cost a lot of money. There is a way that you can protest. Like we were with thousands and thousands and thousands of women mobilized all over Houston, downtown yesterday. And of course, the world saw them. The world heard them. You can be heard without being destructive. You can be heard without being barbaric. You can be heard without being worse than the people you are pointing fingers and talking against, because the world knows all of this. There's an American embassy in Cameroon, and the American embassy is picking information because they have communicators and people in all the regions and states of Cameroon. The BBC, the Voice of America, they have people that they talk to that give them the truth every day. The American embassy picks information about the country. Some of them, they may not reveal them. They have satellites that pick up things before you even know. They have information about nations in Africa. There was a time when people came in and brought radioactive materials and how they went and bought them and dumped them in Nigeria somewhere. It's the Americans who pick the activities of those things. Nigerians themselves did not even know what was going on. So don't get yourself fooled. Let the AFCON come. You don't have to wear the green, red, yellow. You don't have to be dressed in the colors of Cameroon. But you cannot afford to try to be a terrorist who wants to bomb one of the media or the stadia where the games will be taking place. If you want to do that in Limbe, you are looking for your own death, because we've been reliably informed that everything is being done to protect your fellow Africans coming from other African countries who have nothing to do with your issues in Cameroon. You want to do that in Douala? Get ready. You want to do that in Yaoundé? Get ready. In Bafoussam? Get ready. In the north? Get ready. Now, let me tell you something. This is an international event which is hosted by Africans. FIFA will be there. People are coming from all over the world. This is an opportunity for you to go out there, maybe to protest peacefully, carry placards and talk about the issues that are there that you want the world to come along with you in solidarity to solve. Those issues can be revisited at the United Nations. You can do it. There's international media that is coming. There is international media that has representatives. Now everybody even is a media person with an Android phone. So be wise. Everything is being done in collaboration with the World Health Organization to make sure that COVID-19 is not a problem. So we ask the world to come to Cameroon. It will be great. It will be an opportunity for you to showcase your issues and your series. Thank you.